Hi guys, so I wanted to do another video today again, and this video is, okay, I want to talk about the whole natural hair movement and wigs, weaves, all those stuff, and this really applies more to black people that I am, you know what I'm saying, represent. Okay, so yes, we're in a time period when some people have been inspired to, go natural and show off the beauty of our natural hair, and I love it. And I grew up in Nigeria, and up until college, our hair was natural. We went natural. It was the natural thing to do, I guess. We were natural up until college, and then you decided what you wanted to do after that. I go natural and everything, but I also wear wigs, I also wear weaves, I do extensions and everything, but my hair is natural, and all this stuff. And I've had times, actually 2010, I wish there was a way I could put a picture, 2010, I was natural all the way, as in my hair was out natural and everything, but I wanted to go into doing some protective styling for my hair because I noticed that my hair was doing better. My hair does better with protective styling and taking care of it and then doing protective styling. So for a time period I wanted to kind of go into that. That's when I went back into, doing weaves and wigs and all that stuff and everything. Okay, so but I just, I think it's interesting because, we as human beings, see, this is the deal. We don't know what's going on inside of a person. We cannot see the inside of a person. A lot of times, we see the outside of a person. And good or bad, we have this tendency to make assumptions about a person based on what we see. People make assumptions on, let's say you're going for an interview. There's a certain way people look at you based on how you dress or what you wear, how you do your hair, whatever it is, what color your hair is, different things. And we make assumptions about people and things based on what we see, because we cannot see the inside of a person. And I always try to avoid, I don't assume too much about people based on the outside, because I always say, I don't know what's going on in your inside. God is the one who knows. God is the one who knows why you're doing what you're doing on your outside. And I do understand that a lot of times what's going on your outside is linked to what's going on your inside, but unless I have the inside scoop on what's going on with you, I cannot make assumptions on why you're doing what you do. And it'll be kind of weird of me, and it will be very wrong of me to make an assumption on why someone is natural, or why someone is wearing extensions in their hair. It'll be wrong of me to make assumptions based on what I see on the external, because a lot of times sometimes I feel that we have some programs that we have some words or assumptions that play in our minds based on kind of what people say all the time, about it. If you've always heard that people who wear dreadlocks, they live this certain kind of lifestyle, more than likely because that's what you've heard a lot, you might see someone with dreadlocks and think something of them and make that assumption about them. But I always say every individual God knows what's really going on in the inside of a person. If you've had an idea about people who wear skirts that are short or tight, if you see someone who wears skirts that are short or tight, if you're not careful, you might likely you will assume that about them, because that's what you've heard or that's what you see. But I always say God is the one who knows what's really going on and why a person is doing what they're doing. And I do understand that a lot of times when you talk to a person, you can kind of sense what's going on, because a person's spirit kind of comes out even more when they're talking. So you can kind of sense what is really going on. They might not say, but you could sense. But God knows to a T what's going on. And so I really was curious. I said, God, what do you think about the whole natural hair as opposed to wigs and weaves? Do you have a preference? Are you bothered by it? Are you bothered by if someone goes natural or if they wear wigs and weaves? Are you bothered by it? What does it concern you? Are you stressed out about it? And does it bother you, or do you even really care? And one thing I realize is, and I've learned, is that with God starts on what's going on your inside. God deals with what's going on the inside of a person. And a lot of times, whenever God addresses your external, it's always linked up with what's going on the inside of you. So if it looks like someone is making a change on the outside, and God is talking to them about something on the outside, you best believe it is linked up with something on their inside. He will address what's going on their inside. And then maybe it'll look like this person is making changes on their outside, but know that God is dealing and has dealt with what's going on the inside. That's why maybe now they're making changes on the outside. But He doesn't start from the outside in. He starts from the inside out. So, and another thing I realized is, I was curious, and I was thinking, is it that every single time a person decides to wear extensions or not have their natural hair out, doesn't mean they're not proud of being black or proud of their African hair and everything like that? Does it always mean that? And it just hit me. I realized something. One thing about it is, we have a tendency to identify ourselves with our external. Let's say you've always worn braids, and that's what people know you as, someone who wears braids. If you're not getting your identity with God and realizing that you're you whether you have braids or not, and in a sense the tendency is you are so used to seeing yourself with braids that if you try to do something else, you could be thrown off and think, that's not me, I don't look the same, I don't feel the same, I don't feel as confident, because you have identified yourself so much with what you do on the external part of you. And the external part of you is you always have braids in your hair. If you're someone who's always been natural, you will not feel that confident. When you make a change, you might not feel that confident wearing wigs and weaves, because you feel like you're a whole different person, because you've identified yourself so much with your natural hair. The same thing with people who wear makeup. There's some people, is it that they think they're not beautiful or something? But I think maybe not necessarily. It could be that they just are so used to seeing themselves with makeup on that they cannot imagine themselves without makeup on. They think themselves as not pretty, or themselves, or whatever it is. And I could take it and say, oh my, I can't believe you think that. But in a sense, a lot of times man has a tendency to identify themselves with what's going on their external, with their careers, with their looks, with how they dress, everything like that. That's why I always say, get your identity hooked with God, because the external could change. And I want you to be so confident that if the external changes, you're still beautiful. You're still you. You're still all that in a bag of chips. Okay? But I guess it's just something that, another perspective. I didn't think about it, but I thought, oh wow. Sometimes it might not be that this person hates black features or hates their natural hair. It's just maybe they're not used to seeing themselves with natural hair, and now they have to develop that confidence of, okay, I guess I'm still me, or so it might not be that this person hates wigs and weaves, but maybe they're just not used to seeing themselves with wigs and weave. Then maybe one day when they do a protective style, they can say, oh wow, okay, I guess I'm still me, and again, if God addresses anything on the external, it's linked up with something on the internal. He starts from the inside. It's the inside He's wanting to deal with. It's the inside He addresses. And maybe as a result of Him addressing the inside, it will reflect on the outside, because a lot of things definitely come from our inside, but we don't see the inside of a person. So unless we get insight into what's going on with a person, it will be kind of unfair to make assumptions on why a person does what they do. And but you know, when it comes down to God, God is not bothered by what you're doing on your external. What not bothers, what he cares about is what's going on your inside, because he loves you so much, and he wants to make sure that you yourself, your spirit, your soul, your emotions, everything inside is okay and he's doing good. That's where his heart is. So I hope this video helps someone out there. And just to do my little thoughts, my thoughts on this, you can comment and everything. I might do a part 2, we don't know, but okay, I hope this was helpful, and I hope I can put a picture up here somewhere, but alright, this was before, so this was in 2010, I believe. Okay, alright.